I don't know what happened. It was like fine until I went live, and then everything went haywire. So sorry about that. But all right. So just in case you were not on the original one that I just tried to stream and everything went crazy, this I'm going to do a live stream. I want to go ahead and talk about the original Netflix series, I Am a Killer. I don't know if any of you all have seen it or not, but it's a really, really good series. And this particular story, this guy, David Barnett, he really, really stood out to me. And, you know, there was so much information that the jury didn't hear when he was sentenced to death row. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and put this out there too, because this guy breaks my heart. And he is trying to appeal to be released on parole and get off of death row. And I really, really hope after learning about him and what he's gone through that happens for him. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. If y'all have comments or questions, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'd love to see what y'all think about this. But I'm going to go ahead and start the stream. If for some reason you can't hear the volume or the audio on the Netflix show, please let me know. Hi, Richard Brown. For those of you who didn't see the beginning of this, Rita, is the foster parent that he lived with before he was adopted by the man that molested him. And they had to move out of the country and they weren't able to take him with them. So he went back into the foster care system. But her home, that home was the only really loving family home that he had ever really known. And so when this happened, he reached out to her again. I can't imagine how giving the jury a background on someone who is completely broken from the time that they were born and abused and molested and raped and just thrown through the foster system in one abusive home to another could possibly have hurt him in this case. I mean, as it was, it couldn't have gotten any worse. He was facing death, right? So how could that have hurt him? I think that if the jury had heard some of this background on him, that they may have spared him the death penalty, but they didn't get to hear it. Held responsible for the murder of these two people, because you know what? They didn't do their job when he came and asked them for help. How do you go to a police station, bring a photo of the man who's molesting you, a clear photo, a Polaroid? This is not like we had Photoshop back then, showing that he's got a boy's penis in his hand and it's his ring and his hand and his arm, and have them turn you away. If they had done their job, he would have been taken out of that house and this crime never would have happened. And that just pisses me off. I'm sorry, but if you need a script to read from to talk about what a good person your friend was, that's probably because he wasn't.
And a well-loved school bus driver, good enough to be awarded school bus driver.
Of course he was a school bus driver.
Times.
So many people let him down, and so many people that he went to, that they turned him away when he needed help the most. The Department of Child Services, the schools, the police. I mean, for crying out loud, the police, you bring a picture in there of your adoptive father molesting another boy and you have proof that it's happening, and you tell them what's happening to you and they turn you away. Those people should be held responsible, and I guarantee they never will. But the fact that the jury never heard these, these encounters that he had, and his past with his sexual abuse and his child abuse and his life in between houses and being turned away, I think if they had heard that yes, he would have still been guilty and convicted of a crime and have to pay for the crime that he committed. But I don't believe that he would have been given death, and I don't believe he would have been given life without parole. And clearly you can see this guy is truly, utterly sorry. And I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he is remorseful and that he is sorry and that he would take it back in a heartbeat if he could, but he can't. So I'm hoping that he will at least get parole. I don't believe that he would hurt anybody else. I really don't. So his trial, or his appeal for parole is probably happening right now. I haven't really read much up on that after I watched this series, but please comment your thoughts, and I would really love to know what you think. I mean, do you all have some compassion and empathy for this man like I do? If you Google his name, there are people all over the internet who feel the same way that I do, that his story is heartbreaking and what he did was wrong, but that he is not this horrible, heartless, cold-blooded killer like some other people that are on death row or in prison without parole. He was a very hurt, broken boy, and it's just a very sad situation.